So in your understanding, if you take away traditional media systems, I mean, what can organizations do these days? I mean, it's a social media presence. Committing to the plan, like the daily huddles and reviewing our rocks and working on our KPIs. I mean, we're committed to it.
So you're done that then?
So in a sense, yeah, but hardly feels done.
Okay, but done means like, are you embodying your commitment?
Sure we are.
So
yeah,
if I ask you what the finish line for that result is,
right.
The goal is we want to be a Rockefeller Habits organization.
We are.
Done then.
Right.
Well, you've done what you need culturally to feel that way.
Like I've committed the next, like this is going to be us. This is us. We are just working on embodying it, right?
And which will take 3 to 5 years.
That's exactly it, yeah.
So the goal is to establish the definition of the system.
Yep.
The universe takes time to materialize.
Okay.
And so this has been one of the most complicated nuances to this that I've had with any of our clients.
Okay.
Which is our clients conjoin the construction of the system with the execution of the system.
Okay.
And they're totally separate.
Okay.
He captures footage and then he edits it.
Okay.
And so they're not conflated.
Okay.
Right? But we tie to that because if it's real out here, then that means it's real. But if it's real in principle, and you've answered your questions and you've defined your path, then that goal is complete.
I've got all the key players that I've presented to absolutely on board with this and loving it.
So then can you consider that finished?
Sure.
Okay. Done. One down. There's some dopamine.
I'm curious if there isn't like a template for what really fires people up to go in there and take a look at it, right? Like is a list of stuff really the optimal way?
How you visually demonstrate a process to someone?
Right, like, well, visually, and then even the whole, like I'm curious if there isn't a process for making processes.
Yeah, there is. It's called the swim lane diagram.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I'll draw it for you.
Where they have all the information that's required.
Swim lane diagrams are basically like you put the key players. Imagine Olympic swimmers.
Yes.
And they're all like literally in lanes.
Okay.
And each swimmer is a role.
Okay.
So imagine you have a customer, you have a sales team. In my case, you have, let's say the resource or the project manager.
Okay.
And then I have specialists.
Okay. Not too dissimilar from us.
Yeah, pretty similar. Yeah. So customer, very top level, expresses interest. Okay. Then sales team, sets up the deal.
Okay.
Now, inside sets up the deal. What does that mean? So you can dive into that. That's you know what I mean?
Okay.
Once the deal is set up, then sales team notifies project manager. Project manager reviews the deal. Right?
Yeah.
Then they assign the resources. Then the assigned resources complete scope. But this is how you would do that visually.
Okay.
And then this is you could equally put this in an ordered list.
Sure.
This is just an ordered list this way, broken into roles.
Yeah.
No different.
Yep.
Maybe instead of 4 rows, you guys have 10.
Sure.
Because 4 rows are the service team, 2 rows is the install team, and 4 rows is renovations.
Right.
But now you see how all the players work together.
Right.
Yeah.
And that will be powerful. So how do we connect those dots in a way that's not just a chart or just verbally saying, well, we're all supporting each other, guys. Like here's the
How do you show the team?
How do we show the
Here's
team?
how you play.
Here's the matrix, right? Marketing is still really feels to me like it has been like just stepping up to the blackjack table. So where do you guys fit? Like when you had that conversation with Lanny, where were you coming from at that point? Like what did you see as an area that you could offer?
I get that question all the time. Alexander, where's the right place to spend my money?
Right. And and that's why I don't want, I haven't gotten a great answer on that.
So one of the strategies that I've promoted to 4 other service companies, including you, but not really, is a campaign that I've pulled from Facebook Ad Buyers Group on Facebook, which is run by Tim Bird, who's arguably the world's best Facebook marketer.
Okay.
And so carpet bombing is a strategy where but if you were to say, Alexander, I don't care if you're a marketer or not, what should I do?
Yeah.
Knowing who you are,
Yeah.
what I would say, which is entirely based on the people I listen to,
Right.
is Gary Vaynerchuk says in 2018,
Yeah.
social virality built on event in-person experiences.
Mhm.
So he's literally meaning trade shows,
Yeah.
which you guys already do.
Yeah.
But nobody at the trade shows has listened to me when I said you have to build a social experience because you can multiply up the value of your trade show by having people take selfies in front of your logo. How to renovate your house. Like a seminar.
Right.
Like, if 4 people come, it's a huge win. A monthly seminar series where you invite people into an open house space that you've got,
Sure.
or here,
Yep.
or whatever, and you're teaching people who are because people who want to renovate their house, they're looking for education on it before they qualify their buyer or their vendor. Okay. Gary uses the language supply and demand.
Okay.
To talk about how because there is such an outrageous supply right now, if you're not willing to out-supply the supply that exists, which means content,
Right.
then you might as well not.
There's so much being put out now that people are forgetting. Like our attention span is so zero. It's why I put out so much content. I think it's all good enough. And if it's not the greatest thing for the world, that's okay. I learned from it. I'm putting it out there, right? For me, I want to get it out there, but
If you're not going to do an outrageous amount of content production,
Right.
then you have to tactically spend where you're most likely to hit your audience
Yeah.
in their buying cycle. And your audience are people who are research orientated making a large investment decision. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm full.
Is that the moment?
That's good. That we touched on absolutely everything.
Right.
Yeah. And I feel good about knowing that I've accomplished our quarterly priority.
Good. On to the next.
Yes.